Today, we're diving into an ancient philosophy that was so radical, so challenging, that it pretty much vanished from history. It's a fascinating story about a world that was tearing itself apart, and one thinker who came up with a solution that was, frankly, mind-blowing.
So let's just start with a pretty wild question. Think about it for a second. We all value love for our family, our friends, our country. It's what holds our societies together. But what if that same love, that loyalty that makes us choose us over them, is the very thing that sparks every single war?
Sounds like a very modern problem, right? Well, this exact idea was at the center of a huge philosophical debate in ancient China, about 2,500 years ago. And the man who started it all had a solution that still feels unbelievably bold even today.
To really get him, you first have to understand the world he was living in. We're talking about the Warring States period in China. And trust me, it absolutely lived up to its name.
This was not a peaceful, stable time. It was a brutal, chaotic free-for-all. Different states were caught in this endless cycle of violence and betrayal. For the average person, life was just filled with suffering and the constant fear that your village could be next. This is the problem our philosopher was trying to solve.
And that philosopher's name was Mozi. Now, he wasn't your typical scholar, sitting around in a nice garden. No, he was something else entirely. He was an outsider.
And you can really see the difference here. On one side, you have the establishment figure, the famous Confucius. He was an aristocrat, a scholar who was all about tradition and social hierarchy. His idea of love was graded. You love your family first and most, then your neighbors, and so on. But then you have Mozi. He was a common craftsman, maybe a carpenter or an engineer. He cared about one thing, what works. And to him, the Confucian system of putting your own people first was the direct cause of all the chaos in the world.
So, what was his revolutionary solution? It was an idea that sounds so simple, but it turns everything we think about society completely on its head. He called it universal love.
The term in Chinese is Jiān'ài. And what it means is that you should have equal care and concern for everyone. Everyone. It means caring about a stranger on the other side of the country just as much as you care about your own brother. It just completely shatters the idea of us versus them.
This quote from Mozi himself just nails it. He's asking you to completely redraw your moral map. Think about it. If a king saw another kingdom as his own, would he ever attack it? If you saw a stranger's family as your own, could you ever bring yourself to harm them? For Mozi, the answer was obvious. Of course not.
Here's a great way to picture the difference. Confucian love is like dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples are strongest at the center, that's your family, and they get weaker and weaker as they spread out. But Moist love, Jiān'ài, is like the sun. The sun doesn't play favorites. It shines on everyone everywhere with equal warmth and light.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. This all sounds nice, but maybe a little too idealistic, right? Hopelessly naive? Well, Mozi was anything but a dreamer. He was one of the most practical thinkers in history. This is the question everybody asks. I mean, it sounds great, but is it even humanly possible? Mozi totally saw this coming. He wasn't actually asking people to magically feel the same emotional love for a stranger as they do for their own mother.
And this is the absolute key to understanding him. For Mozi, universal love was not a feeling. It was a strategy. It was a cold, hard, logical calculation for how to create a peaceful and prosperous society. It's basically an ancient form of utilitarianism. What action creates the greatest good for the greatest number of people?
And he had a whole method for figuring this out. He put every idea through this rigorous three-pronged test. First, is there any precedent for it in the past? Second, can we see it working in the world around us with our own eyes and ears? And third, the most important one, if we actually put this idea into practice, does it benefit the most people?
And you can see this practical logic in action. So let's take offensive warfare. For Mozi, that fails the test. It's a massive waste of resources, it kills people on both sides, it just harms everyone. What about elaborate, expensive funerals, which were a big deal in Confucian tradition? Fails the test. Why? Because it bankrupts living families for the sake of the dead. But defensive walls and fortifications? That passes. Why? Because it actually protects people and helps the state survive. It was all about a clear-eyed cost-benefit analysis for the good of everyone.
So for a while, Mohism was huge. It was a major school of thought, a direct and powerful rival to Confucianism, but then it just vanished.
Which brings us to a really fascinating historical mystery.
How does an entire philosophical movement, one that was so popular and influential, just fade into obscurity? Where did it go?
Well, there are a few big theories. One is that, well, it was just too hard. Asking people to overcome their natural bias toward their own family and friends was maybe just too much. Another is that it was actively suppressed. The Qin dynasty, which eventually unified China, did it through exactly the kind of offensive wars Mozi hated, so they wouldn't have been big fans. It's also possible that its best ideas just got absorbed into other philosophies. And maybe most importantly, it never really won over the rich and powerful, who kind of liked the Confucian system that kept them at the top.
And that kind of leaves us with one final, really pressing thought. Today we live in a world where our biggest challenges, pandemics, climate change, economic crises, they don't respect borders. The old lines between us and them are starting to look pretty flimsy. In a world like that, Mozi's idea of universal love suddenly doesn't sound so idealistic anymore. It sounds like a logical framework for survival. You have to wonder, was Mozi 2,500 years ahead of his time?